Hey there everyone, Erica here. Welcome back to Highway 49 RC. Last time on my touring car build project, we got the suspension all finished up and ready to go, which is awesome. And all that's left now in the suspension are the shocks, and then we can put basically the finishing touches on and make this thing a complete roller, which I think is going to be the goal today. So let's just jump right into it. We're building shocks first today. So for the shocks, it's we're going to start putting an O-ring on here, on the shock body. And then grab the adjuster ring, thread that on. Now we are going to take and install the shock piston onto the shock shaft. I'm using the one with 3 holes. That's the one that the instructions say to use. And also, I'm most likely going to be replacing these shocks in the future with G-made shocks, because G-made shocks are actually pretty awesome. I run them on multiple rigs. There we go, shock pistons installed. I'm going to stick the piston into the shock body. And now we're going to put a spacer in there. And then we're going to take our little O-ring and we're going to stick some green slime on there. That is the industry secret for building shocks, is a little bit of team associated green slime. It, in theory, helps keep shocks from leaking, and so far that has been pretty much true for me. Oh, come on. Okay. There you go. Now we are going to put our cap on. There's a little step on one side, and the step goes facing the rod end at the end of the shock, because then that seats into the hole on this lower shock cap. As you can see, it gets nice and flush there, which is nice. Snug that down nice and tight. That's now moving smoothly, and now we can install the rod end, which I know you guys are going to cringe at what I'm about to do. This is the way that I've been building shocks for a very long time. I've never had an issue, and these shocks I do not anticipate going as far down as where I'm putting my pliers. Also, trick, ream out the rod end a bit with a hobby knife, because these rod ends are very tricky to get on. There we go. It is on. We can now fill it to the top with oil. Because it's a diaphragm shock, we can fill it all the way up to the top. And then before we get it too high, cycle the piston a little bit, pull the air bubbles out from underneath the piston. Fill it the rest of the way. And then we're going to set this aside for a couple minutes and let those air bubbles just come out for a little while. With our shock oil free of air bubbles, we can now take the diaphragm and we can stick it on top, and we're supposed to kind of roll it in a little bit diagonally. So that we don't trap any pockets of air underneath it. And then just push it down. I gotta catch this extra oil. That is going to make a mess, obviously, as making shocks always does. Okay, now we're going to put this guy on top, basically the top of the shock. It's not actually part of the cap, and then the cap is just a ring. That sits on top. Get that nice and cinched down so it won't leak, in theory. And nice. Finally, last but not least, put the spring on. These ones are tricky, looks like. Bottom cap on. There we go. Of course, off camera, I've already built the other 3. But yeah, we can now go and install them on the rig. Alright, and these guys are basically just gonna pop right on. Of course, if I'm strong enough to pop said shocks on. Oh my god. I've gone on and on about this. These ball joints in this kit are so damn tight. Oh my god. It's like you gotta be so strong just to put them on. You gotta be really strong. Or have a high pain tolerance. There's those, very nice. If I'm not careful, I'll put one on upside down. And then I'll be really mad, so I'll have to do it again. Ow. Man. Okay. All done. It's way more painful than it should have been. But we've got our shocks mounted up, and they are indeed very smooth. Nice. Happy with that? Let's go ahead and move on, I guess. Let's see, what have we got next? It says some of the next stuff is servo related, so we're not going to deal with that. We'll do that next time. Okay, yeah, battery holder and antenna post. We can do those next. Let's grab those parts here, and then the antenna holder is... where? Where's the antenna holder? There. Right there is what I just installed. It's a countersunk washer with a flathead screw in it, and then you can put spacers behind it to adjust for the thickness of your battery, essentially, is what that does. But I'll adjust that properly later. So for the moment, we will go ahead and install our battery posts, our battery retainers. Those go there and there. They pop into holes. Is that bright? Yeah, it's a little bright. There we go, that's better. And then a couple 3x8s in the bottom, that'll cinch them down. Okay, now we can take our antenna post right here, and that's gonna go, let's see, what hole is that gonna go in? Ah, okay, I see. I think it's gonna go right there, underneath the, underneath that center brace. That's gonna get attached from the bottom as well. Alright, there's the antenna post installed right here. And then we'll take and stick the antenna in the top. That, pretty sure that's how it's supposed to go. I think so. So this is actually pretty cool. The battery strap uses these pins. They go in and they basically hold the battery strap in place. I think that's definitely very neat feature. I don't think they'll come out the back. Nope, that is a good thing. And then we use these little, basically hook-shaped things, and those cinch on the outside, and that is what keeps the battery from going anywhere, basically. Actually, we use, what size are those? Those are going to be 2.6 by 9. Those, I'm gonna guess, are those? Yep, these ones, alright. So they're little guys. And those guys will go into the battery post there. And then there are also spacers that go on that to adjust for the width of your battery, which again I will do later just because it makes it easier for me and for you. It's better viewing. Simple as. I'm also probably going to get a specific battery for this vehicle. At first I thought it was going to have to be a shorty pack, but it turns out the packs that I already have will actually fit, but I think I'm going to get one specific for this that just has the bullet connectors on the top, because that'll make things a little bit easier, and it'll also make the whole wiring job smoother. So I'm probably going to get that. I'm also going to get a fan, because there is a fan mount on this chassis, which is actually really nice. That's one of the things that I saw on it when I bought it. I was like, ooh, what in the world? Like, most chassis don't have fan mounts on them. ESCs tend to, but not for the motors, at least I don't think. Or at least I don't see many, probably because I'm mostly in the crawler world and that's not really much of a thing. Alright, there we go. Battery strap is in place. That'll strap down to your battery nicely. Next up is front bumper, looks like. Let's see, what do we got going on there? I'm going to take this piece right here, and then we're going to stick these guys in the top. Does not appear to be any specific way to do that. Grab a couple, let's see, those are the 3x10s. So those are slightly longer in the bottom here. I'll switch up these guys. Very nice. And then I think it looks like we're gonna grab, okay, so we're gonna have to put an M3 nut in this center little hole right here, if we can get it situated down in there. Yep, perfect. And then this is going to just drop over top of those posts. I guess you just push it on. Yeah, looks like it. That squishes into place. Nifty nifty. And lastly, we are going to grab this nice looking cover piece right here, and that's going to go over top of the posts like so. And last but not least, yep, we're gonna attach that to the bottom with screws right here. We're going to grab a few body clips, and we're going to put on the, actually just 2 it looks like. Oh no, 3, 4, yeah, okay. And we're gonna, for now, I'm just gonna stick it on one of these holes randomly. And then I will come back later and get it properly adjusted. I am going to need suggestions on how to mark holes for the body, because I kind of want this body to look nice. Like, I've just kind of eyeballed it in the past on bodies, and I'm sure that's probably just the general technique, but if anybody has good suggestions for doing that, I would greatly appreciate hearing some of them. And this is now ready to be installed on the chassis, which we're going to take and basically just sits right there, which is really nice. Does it? I think it does. It should do. Yes, it does. It's just a little bit snug. Alright, and grab some more of these guys. Tighten that guy up. Sweet. Front bumper is installed. Now we just have to pretty much do the rear body posts, which are super straightforward. I've got to turn the page again. You know, this whole build, I've been thinking about making the joke about that Metallica song. God, what song is that? Jeez, I can't remember. You guys will know better than I will, but it's that one Metallica song. where he's like singing about the highway and like up on stage and stuff like that. I've been wanting to make that joke, but I have been forgetting and probably would not land it very well anyways, so no big deal. Nicely done, nicely done. Body posts are installed. Of course, they will get cut down a little bit later on, but dang, okay. Last step is literally put the hexes on and put the wheels on. This is crazy. Of course, there's still more work to do, but that's alright. We'll do that later on. Wow, there we go, you guys. What a milestone today. It's a roller. She's a roller. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to go and drive this thing. The suspension is like... The suspension's interesting. It's like... It's soft, but like it's almost not. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but like... I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Next episode is going to be electronics, which is definitely going to be fun. Probably a quicker episode for you guys, because it's going to take me forever to get this thing all wired in. But, yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell to get notified of episode 8, I think, yeah. And, also follow me on Instagram at highway49_RC. Leave a comment below, all that stuff. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.